And here I am. It's Friday night. It's time for the Dusty News Network here on the Debsterism channel. We do this every Friday night. What is the show you might be asking? Well, we go in on Dusties that post crazy stuff all over the internet. We got memes here. We got screenshots of posts. We got screenshots of comments. It's always interesting to see what dusty folks have to say. And when we first started this, it was just men, but come to find out there's a whole bunch of dusty women too, and there's even people that's dusty of other races, not just African Americans. So our show has expanded considerably. Hey, everybody. I love seeing all the folks up in the chat room, all the usual faces in there for their weekly dose of hilarity. I understand because I'm telling you. I hope you saw the video last night. That's why I raced in here tonight. I just finished these slides about 10 minutes ago. 'Cause, I got so much procrastinating done today. It was just so fabulous. It's like my favorite thing to do. But I raced in here, honey, and started slinging stuff around and doing these slides. Luckily, you guys came through, like I said, as champs. So we said before, you guys came through, sent a whole bunch of stuff in. And if you, as you go through today and you notice that you've seen some things that you think would be really good on this show, this is what you do. You take a screenshot of it, or you send it in to survivingdating@gmail.com. Make the subject line Dusty News, and it'll filter into a folder that I've set up for this programming. And then that way it won't get lost in all my millions of other crazy emails. Now, the thing last night, I just have to take a moment to talk about that. Yeah, I did go in on him because it was just something, I don't know, I was in a bad mood, I think. And then I saw that shit and I just went crazy. It was like, I just lost it for a minute. I just could not believe that he had the nerve to come on my channel with that mess. And then he attacked little Donna Tosca, who's like, she has done nothing to anybody, just shared her stuff and they displayed total sisterhood and just been cool as hell. And he chose her to go in on. So, I was like, now some of I know y'all, it was like Lady Boss and stuff. I would just sit back and watch the fireworks. But I don't think I just don't get that air that she is prepared to deal with knuckleheads like that. And plus, it's my channel, so I feel like it's my responsibility to, protect my channel visitors from some stupid ass people. So I, took the lead on it and I just roasted him up one side, down the other with like a flamethrower. But if you haven't seen that, you please do catch it and share your comments on it. We're also having another membership drive. Our number goal right now is to make it to 25,000 subscribers. So do your share, lady. Share a link or two. You know, try to get some folks up in here so they can learn this knowledge that we're dishing out here. Yeah, he deserved every bit of it. That's why I don't feel sorry for him at all. Anybody who came to his defense, I think they were scared because nobody came. Notice nobody came to do his defense. I think they were scared. They didn't want to get a piece of me, get my teeth marks on their asses because I was like on one yesterday. So I didn't finish the slides until today. So, we're going to get started. Let me get everything rolling here so we can start our slideshow of the Dusty News Network here on supposed to be, the Friday the 13th. A lot of people have suspicions that that's an unlucky day. I think it's your lucky day because you get to be here with me. This is a good thing. All right, here we go. Now, I put this one first because it has my love on it, Lamont Rucker. Somebody sent me a meme with Lamont Rucker on it. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Wait one cotton picking minute. That man is just delicious looking to me. I don't know why. Just something about his eyes and his smile and yeah. So anyway, this meme says, "Can a woman turn off a man by being too independent?" Too independent. Now, what might that mean? I did a video on that kind of claim where men say that we're too independent, and I tell them, you made us that way. you can't expect a woman to carry on and do stuff all by herself, handle stuff, hold stuff down, raise kids, and do everything by herself and not become independent. But you put us in that position. You did that by not stepping up. So there's no reason for you to come back now and say, well, you're too independent. No, you pushed us in the direction of doing shit ourselves. We handle it now, and now we don't need you. And it's like, but you did that. I mean, why did you do that if you wanted a woman to be able to depend on you and to lean on you and to trust you to be there for her? You can't have it both ways. Come on now. You cannot have it both ways. You get to pick one. So, yes, honey. I see everybody over there in the chat room talking about my honey. No, he's mine. Back, down. But, I don't know. I don't understand this kind of thinking. So then I guess they had a good debate about it. But the bottom line is, the numbers of these men that are going to step up, marry the women that they get pregnant, take care of the kids the way that they're supposed to, take care of their households the way they're supposed to, love their woman the way they're supposed to, handle finances in the household the way they're supposed to. I mean, they don't do that. So what else is a sister to do? She gonna have to do it by herself. So that's where we are. So this is kind of a moot point, but I thought it was a really dusty meme to put up, considering the status and the state rather of Black America here in the United States. So let's move on. This one, I was like, ooh, she zinged him, didn't she? Dude is like, men cheat because women rarely are ever in the mood for eggplant. And she's like, well, so who they cheating with? Which she has a point, you know. So obviously they in the mood to do something with some man, but it ain't you. So I mean, let's look within, dudes. Let's look within. Maybe you aren't quite the coxman that you thought you were. And so your woman is looking at you all kind of crazy, like, surely there has to be something better for me than to suffer with you. So I don't know, what to say about this one. I just loved her comeback. I thought it was brilliant and funny. This young man is telling women that this is like a basic dating technique, according to him. Dating 101. All men aren't created emotionally equal, as if we don't know that. He's like pontificating as if we were all cracked out of an egg this morning and we don't notice. Women must tailor their love, affection, and communication accordingly. No, what women must do is love the way that they feel best to do love, to show their love and their affection. And, sometimes you can work on communication. I'm not going to say that's written in stone, but everybody loves the way that they love. They show affection the way that they show affection. Those two things aren't really going to change that much. So, what that means, my dear dude who wrote this crazy meme, is that a woman just has to find a man who matches her love style. Who's comfortable with the level of affection that she gives and that she wants to receive. He can give it to her. He can give her the kind of love that she's looking for, and he welcomes hers. They communicate. I mean, it's never going to be perfect communication between a man and a woman. There's always going to be, some kind of like what factor to it. But if you can find a man that you communicate well with 90% of the time, I think that's a damn good option. Most people probably have about 70%, 80% on a good day. So if you in that 85, 95 percentile, you doing damn good. And so I don't think, women don't need to change how they show love. You just need to change the man that you're showing it to. That's what you need to do. Of course, he doesn't want to say that because that means that, these guys would get nixed, passed over, not given a chance and all this kind of stuff. So he's going to try to make it seem like you the one that's doing something wrong and you need to change. Notice that? I want you guys to pay attention to that now. Okay? Somehow you are supposed to change the way that you do everything, dating upon, depending upon the man who is in your face. No, no, no. Some dudes are just very closed off. Excuse me. They're very closed off. They're emotionally damaged or whatever. And you're gonna be sitting up there trying to love him and communicate with him and talk to him and show him affection. He jumps away from you. He don't want to be touched. He's got all kind of weird shit going on, PTSD and whatnot. And you supposed to stay there and suffer with that? No, you're not. You're supposed to move on to somebody else. Exactly. They always want us to jump around and change and bend and flex to meet their needs while they just do whatever they want to do. Please. Next. Okay. Now this young lad, I don't know what is this never ending thing that they have where they want to beg women to change them and take care of them and take responsibility for them and mold them like Mars Blackman said, and she's got to have it. You know, um he been through a lot. Let me fix him. Dude, the only thing a woman should ever fix is a fixer upper investment, real property that she's invested in. She's flipping houses. That's her business. Then yeah, she should fix that. You can't fix human beings unless you have a PhD in psychology. Okay? And most women do not. And if they do, that's their work. They're not going to bring most we don't want to bring our work home with us and you got to fix people at work and then you fix people at home for free. That's not a good day. I don't understand that. Yeah, you up there being a fix it woman. Like you don't have nothing else to do with your time. But when you look at stuff like this, right? You're looking at this and the young lad is like, "Let me fix him." Okay, he's been through a lot. Let me fix him. What part of that young man do you take responsibility for of fixing yourself? What are you doing? What have you done? What is the steps that you're taking to become the man that you imagine that you should be? Where's you in that picture? You sitting there and you making a meme and you just trying to dump all the responsibility for your life, your happiness, your success. Everything that you do and don't do, you're trying to make it responsibility of a woman. Now these are the same men who want to turn around and say that they're the leaders and the kings, right? And that we're supposed to submit to them and all this and that. But we're supposed to fix everything and take care of them and do all stuff too. I mean, how does that even work? That can't even be like remotely logical. You can't be the king and the leader when somebody got to fix you, who's the person who's one that you say is beneath you and that you need to lead. How does that work? So, I'm looking at this nonsense and I'm like, okay, I just wanted to point this out to you ladies that when you see stuff like this, and this is a man who has this kind of attitude, understand that if you got with him and you had a kid or two, you'd actually have another one, but this one would be 5'10" and weigh 185 pounds. And so, is that what you want? Another child, or you want a man? Okay, let's move on. Now, this was a scary Dusty right here. This young lady, I forgot where I found this. They was discussing her. Oh, it was on Twitter. That's right. They were discussing, dusty men that they were scared of. And so she shared this thing where she's like, I remember one of my neighbors asked me why I lock my door when I'm inside the house. And I asked him how he knows that. And he told me with a straight face that he has tried to open it some nights to greet me. Nights to greet me. He tried to open her door uninvited and undesired. You're just gonna break in, come in some woman's door like that. Just come all up in her space, into her house, where you're not invited there, sir. That's not for you. You know. And I looked at that, and all the women were like horrified. Even some of the dudes were like, "What?" in this thread, and I read as much as I could because folks on Twitter be going in, and it'd be thousands of comments, and I was not trying to stay there for 2 hours reading all that. So I scrolled down for a minute or two, but I just to get the gist of people's responses, and it was pretty horrific. Some of the stories that women shared about how the liberties these dudes be taking with them in their own homes, in their cars, as they drive up and down the street, just living their lives. How much drama women have to put up to with, and these are all black women too, have to put up with that threatens their safety because of men and their entitlement to get what they want from them without asking, without, you know, permission, anything. Just barge into a woman's space and barge into her home. I'm thinking you come up in here if you want to. That'd be the last, and that'll be where you meet your rest in peace moment. Now we're not doing that. So yeah, but I wanted to share that with you guys, just to kind of reiterate. Be careful about there. And like when you get in your cars, there's a lot of cars, the newer cars, once you start the engine, all the doors lock. But if you have an older car like me, I mean, it's a habit I have. As soon as I get in the car, I lock it. My door locks all the doors. I have a four-door car, and it locks all the doors. And I make that a habit because I drive through the streets of Oakland in the hood all the time. And I don't, niggas will have this bad habit. You pulled up at a stop sign. I've seen this happen to a white boy. He had a little drop top car. Had the top down, and he was driving down the street, and some dusty nigga just jumped in his car, like like hopped in the car with him. And the white boy was looking kind of, he was looking confused. I would have been like, "Oh no, you about to bleed now because you got to get stabbed." But yeah, I mean that kind of stuff happens. Or you're a woman by yourself, they'll open your door and just hop in with you. So make sure you lock your doors, okay? As soon as you get in the car, if you have any children, put the safety locks on so they cannot unlock the doors. No, a sword. Well, this is at your house. A sword is too long for a home. You need something short. I mean, for a car, you need something short because otherwise it'll be too long, too awkward. You won't be able to swing it and get in the right space. It's too tight. Think about that. I can't believe we're having this conversation, but this was a scary thing, and like I said, there were dozens and dozens of women that shared similar types of stories on this thread, so I thought I'd share that with you. All right, now we got another Dusty talking in the house thing. This girl posted this. She said, "X said, 'Can I come over?'" And she was like, "Nah, my house in the shop right now." Oh, I was rolling. Yeah, machete. Yeah, that's good. That's nice and short. Her house in the shop right now. Oh my God, I was rolling. So, I don't know. I, you got these people. Oh, we're going to talk about this too. There's a couple of more memes that's coming up where we look at the homeless issue and the homosexualness of a lot of men. And I said hobo sexual, not homo. Hobo. Okay. Now here's another one. This is that same guy who asked about women fixing them. If you notice, this is the same name up at the top. Why do some women go to work and they're okay taking direction from their boss, but go home and want to fight their man over leadership at home? Now let's talk about that. What does that mean? When you go to work, what do you get? What kind of benefits do you get at work? You get like 401k, you get unemployment insurance, you get health insurance, you get a salary. Sometimes you get educational, supplements. There's all kind of little perks and benefits that you get at a job. And then, you get things. Yes, you work for them, but you get things. When you come home and you just have some dusty bum who's not really contributing anything to your life other than some dingling, and then he wants to, run you and he wants you to give to him, but you don't get anything. Okay, job, you get thousands and thousands of dollars a month, health insurance, retirement, taxes paid, because you know they got to pay a percentage of your taxes, including your Social Security and all the stuff. They got to match your taxes, right? And then and then like, whatever other benefits your company has, free park. I mean, whatever. Okay, transportation allowance. I mean, different things out. They offer different things. And then home, what do you get? You have to give cooking services. You give cleaning services. You give support services to a dusty fool who don't want to do nothing by himself. He wants you to fix him. Then you got to wash dishes. If you got kids, you got kid raising chores, homework, all the stuff that comes with raising a child or children, multiple of them. And then he wants to he has to understand why you aren't giving him what he wants the way he wants it. Aren't you the same dude that needed fixing a few slides back? You the same dude that needed to be fixed because something was wrong with you, but now you want leadership, but you broken. How does this work, sir? I'm confused. And this is the same dude. You don't believe me? When this is over, you can, go back and look. It's the same name and the same picture. So these are two slides by the same dude that are don't make sense at all. Don't make any sense. Say there it is. Okay, let's move on from him. There's more and better stuff coming. Now this guy, um, this chauvinist dude, his page, I'm guessing, must be full of such patriarchal nonsense because I got dozens of different screenshots of stuff from different women. So I'm like, okay, this guy, this must be his thing, or he just says stupid stuff on the internet, and women just to get women's goat or something. But this one I thought was interesting, and it was different from all the other ones that were kind of similar. Multiple people submitted them. He says a woman is supposed to make a man's eggplant hard and his life soft, not the other way around. Okay. Supposed to. Who said that, sir? I think that a woman making your life hard is good for you. It builds character. You want everything to be all soft and gentle. What are you, a girl? A baby? An infant? What man wants stuff to be all soft and gentle all the time? I never heard of anything like that. A new username checks out Metal Gear. See, I told you. I know, I caught that. I was like, okay, this is odd. He's got two different things going here. Same dude. So, he has this thing, this expectation that you're supposed to make his life soft. So, if you're doing that, what does that mean? What do you get back? How does that work? Because, him dictating what you're supposed to do, they always want to tell you what you're supposed to do. But, what the script is for you as a woman, for you as a black woman. Um, but they don't really be offering that much to make your life that great and then make you happy. This seems like that's a foreign concept. So, he's getting sexual services, he's getting cooking services, cleaning services, companionship services, all the stuff. But what is he doing to make you happy and to maybe inspire you to want to do some of that stuff? You just sitting around barking orders at people, that's not going to work too well. That's not motivating. Yeah, he's supposed to work. He's supposed to work and he's supposed to work hard. Men who don't work and whose life doesn't have a bit of struggle in it are weak dudes. They don't know how to handle problems and conflict. And they don't really resolve things well because some woman has always been there for them to cushion the blow, to keep them from hitting the bottom. Sometimes a man has to hit the bottom so he can rise the fuck up like a phoenix. And he'll be a stronger, better man for it. A little bit of struggle makes you stronger. So when I see guys like this and they want to put again all the responsibility for his life and his happiness and his, soft life, gentle life, comfort is put on you, well then what are you doing for yourself and what are you doing for your woman to make her, want to be that way with you? They don't really seem to think about that part too much. And I don't know. It's just a lot of responsibility to be in a relationship with these brothers. It's like you just be adopting a child. I don't. I personally, that's why I be single. I can't. I just cannot. I can't do that. There's too much drain. It drains your energy and stuff. I'm selfish. I want to use my energy for something, positive and creative, and that's gonna make some money, make a mark in the world at the same time. All right, now look at this mess right here. One in four men are happy. Which one of these is not like the others? Let's play a little game. I thought this was funny, but my thing is this. Dudes, come on now. Are you acting right? How you supposed to be happy if you're not acting right? They gotta think a lot of guys don't understand that their relationship with a woman, they say, well, she won't sleep with me. She won't give me none. A woman, your relationship, it's out of bed. Okay, how do you talk to her? What's respect for her do you show? What kind of tenderness and concern do you show for her? What do you do to just bring a smile to her face and make her laugh? What do you do to show tenderness and affection and sensitivity to what she's feeling? What do you do? What do you do? And then you get mad because you ain't getting no booty. Well, I mean, she's sitting there disappointed and sad about how you treated her. No, she don't want you touching her. She's in her feelings right now, but you don't see that you the one that made her feel upset, and that's why she don't want to touch you. You don't want to see that. You just look at, well, I'm sitting here and my eggplant is hard, and nobody's doing anything about it, and I have an attitude. I just like, oh, take your ass on fishing over there. Get you one of them striped bass like dude is holding, and call it a day. That is a big ass bass too. Good lord. He's probably gonna mount that sucker. But yeah, I mean, I digress. My former fishing life is coming into the show. But yeah, I that's when I think about when I see stuff like this. They're only talking about their happiness ultimately, but what did you do to try to get her to be happy with you? What did you do? What have you done? Give me a list. Let's move on. It's one of my friends on Facebook, and so she had this post up, and she's like, he said, if y'all can abort babies, we should be able to abandon them. This goes along with a big battle I had some years ago with Dr. Boyce Watkins. He had this program he was pushing called financial abortion. He felt like if a man, slept with a woman and got her pregnant, and he didn't want the baby, that he should be able to just walk away. And he called it a financial abortion. It had legs on it. I mean, a whole bunch of people, a whole bunch of brothers was co-signing on that, and some stupid ass women as well. And my thing is this. Okay, this, and I actually made a video about it too. This is my thing here. All of us know, like, I don't know, by 7 or 8 years old, how babies get here. Right now, we may not have actually, we don't put it into practice until many years later, but you have a concept. Your parents sit down, they tell you about the birds and the bees, and these days they teach it in elementary school, middle school, all that stuff. So kids, have more than a passing knowledge. They have the scientific information about how babies are conceived and the whole birthing process and the whole thing. Okay, so now here you are, a grown man, and you in your 20s and 30s, and you sleep with a woman and you get her pregnant. And you try to say, well, you tricked me, you trying to trap me. No, your eggplant trapped you. That's what happened. So, you know, at that point, you've created a child. The two of you have created a child. Now, he wants to get the abortion, or I mean, she doesn't want to get the abortion, and he doesn't want to pay for the baby. But my thing is, you had a choice, which was before you did all of that, you had that moment where you could have said, maybe I shouldn't do this because the possibility is there as, a grown man. I know what this could happen here. This is a gamble. Maybe I'm just not willing to take. And so then he wouldn't take it, and then they wouldn't do that. and then they wouldn't have a baby, and then he wouldn't need to worry about an abortion because it would be a moot point. That's what I was looking at. And personally, I'm a huge fan of abortion. Man, I love abortions. I think abortion should be available at every corner store. That's what I think. Because there's just too many. This is just this whole community, this whole society is going downhill as far as kids go. But he wants to be able to abandon them. And I thought, okay, well, that was interesting. So hold on while we look at the next slide, which directly relates to this one. This young dude, okay, now juxtapose against the one where the other dude want to get rid of, he want to abandon his kid, right? He don't want nothing to do with the kid. This guy in this slide is crying and whining because yet another woman wants to abort his child. And he don't want to be with her. And this type of situation doesn't fit into the fairy tale family like she wants so desperate to create for herself, for her son and herself. Okay, so what he's thinking is that she, because he wants a baby, is supposed to burden herself and her little boy that she already got with another child when she wants to be married and have a family. And so he's calls that a fairy tale. And so he's all grudgeful and stuff because she doesn't want to participate in that nonsense that he's talking. So she's getting an abortion. And but he look at the attitude he got. But she also can't 100% fuck off if she goes through with it. This could potentially be the third abortion for me. Okay, so now I'm wondering, dude, if you want a child, why do you not get with the woman that you do want to be with and make the baby? I have to tell you, because in the thread underneath this, they roasted his ass alive. It was just vicious. It was savage. Yeah, that was one of the candid news. That was one of the suggestions that he get a vasectomy. But I mean, dude was seriously on one about these women not wanting to have his kid. He's like all in his feelings about it, not realizing that he has the full power and the solution to this dilemma. Get your ass married and then have your kids. You could have, as many kids as you and your wife want to have and can afford. But he just wants these women to be just, dropping his babies. Not everybody wants to do that. Not everybody want to be a baby mama. Or like the woman, she already had one kid, so maybe she feels like my grandfather. Once is a mistake, twice is a habit. That was his thing. So, everybody's entitled to make one mistake as far as he was concerned. But, you start having baby daddy number 2, 3, 4, and 5 and all this old stuff. Well, now you in the zone. You just creating, you got a bad habit. And so this what this guy have been creating here by having 3 children with, these women, and he's mad because they didn't want to keep the baby. I don't know what to say. I was just sitting there looking because I was kept flipping between the other slide where the guy wanted to walk away, and then this one where he crying because they don't want to walk. They don't. I mean, they do want to abort it, and he wants to keep it. So I'm like, I don't know what these people. The solution for both of them is just be married and have your kids within the confines of a marriage, and then you don't have a problem. And then the third video on the baby daddy situation that came in. This nonsense right here. Look at that. Look at them kids in the eggs. What they have portrayed as the babies. And girlfriend up there smoking a cigarette with her hoop earrings on and her lashes and her cleavage out, sitting on the branch with her legs crossed. She got a squirrel baby, a frog baby, and a skunk baby. And she's supposed to be, I don't know, what's that, a stork? I don't know, that's a long beak. It can't be a chicken. I'm going to assume that's supposed to be a stork. Unbelievable. It's, just ribbing women who have 8 little kids and don't want to get an abortion. I again, I just look at these things now because I just be in awe. Do you guys realize the sheer volume of these memes that come in every week? and so few of them are duplicates. It's unbelievable how much stupidity there is out on the web. I had no idea before we started doing this show. I had no idea that people had these many stupid thoughts and these many crazy feelings that they were expressing all over the place. I had no clue. I feel bad, like I was living in my own world or something. All right, let's move on. Now, this ties in with what the video I made last night when I was supposed to be making the slides. I was on my microphone making a video roasting folks. But this ties directly in to what was is discussed in that video. So that he believes that the more partners that a woman has had, the more discontent she will be in a relationship or marriage. So the other guy's approach was very similar in that, he felt like the more partners a woman has had, it made her less desirable. He didn't want to give his assets to her, and that, she didn't want to pick a nice guy. She wanted to pick some thug or something. I mean, it just they have so much angst behind what women they don't know, aren't dating, do with their bodies, especially the coochie. They just are just so concerned about it. It's very bizarre. So here he is, and then I would have give him the same answer I gave the dude yesterday in the video. If you if your woman is discontent in a relationship or marriage to you, there's something you're not giving her. And it doesn't have necessarily anything to do with the sexual partners. It has to do with you not satisfying her sexually. Sorry, that's just the way it is. A lot of these dudes think they really be putting it down, and they really don't. And so, I mean, they be happy and satisfied, but the woman is just looking at them, or she's, might be partially satisfied, but not fully. And he doesn't really make any effort to make sure that she is. I mean, what is your woman like? I mean, some women, I had this conversation. As a matter of fact, I had a conversation very similar to this with a male friend of mine the other day. And it was kind of uncomfortable conversation for me, but I understand what he was getting at. And it's like, some women like more hardcore, freakier stuff. And then other women want something that's more romantic and more sensual and more loving. So it just depends. And then some women just, flip back and forth between the two. As a man, you got to be able to figure out which button is your woman, which field she's on right now. And then you got to play that team. play, I don't know, I'm using all these weird analogies, but you know what I mean. And then that way, young woman will be happy with you. It won't matter whether she had one partner or if she had 200 partners. If you're not giving her what she wants in bed, she's going to be discontent. If you're not giving her what she needs emotionally, she's going to be discontent. It doesn't really have anything to do with the number of partners. It has to do with you. You aren't hitting it the way that she wants you. And that hitting it does not mean necessarily, I'm not talking about only in bed. You're not hitting her heartstrings. You're not hitting her mind. You're not hitting her emotionally. Okay, there's something missing. So he's all trying to blame it all on her past versus, accepting some responsibility for his role in her being unhappy in the relationship. Typical Dusty logic. And this dude is like, yeah, Essie, the bestie girl. Here the video I made yesterday. I don't really want to repeat too much of that because that was rather foul, but I was definitely on fire yesterday about that nonsense. But that applies to that guy too. Okay, now in this one, this dude is like, y'all done talked about this girl want $40 so bad that now they raised it up to 60. Shut the fuck up. So this time before they raise the price again. Oh, I was rolling. $60. $60. That still ain't nothing, but I guess it's better than nothing. I mean, you know what I mean? In the grand scheme of money, I mean, ugh, I spent $60 on a couple of bottles of wine. That's really not that much money, but it depends on what you need to do with it. I guess you could buy diapers and milk and sandwich stuff for your kids if you need it. Roy Chess is the one who got roasted in the video yesterday. I just looked over here and saw that. He's a ballsy young thing, isn't he? Dude, I was you, I wouldn't be showing my face right about now. I would be hiding somewhere. All right, let's move on. This was kind of foul. Look at this knucklehead here. This is like, man, this that term, that B word that I don't like people to use on my channel. Um this meme fits that though. I mean, I just this guy is like, well, when the woman, that girl that broke your heart and turned you into a dog ass nigga, has her second special needs child. Look at that gleeful expression on his face. That's supposed to be how he feels about this girl having a second special needs child. I don't know. I mean, I couldn't do it personally. I think if I had one kid that was special need, I would stop because I wouldn't really be comfortable knowing that there's something genetic going on that don't have control over, and I wouldn't want to have a whole bunch of kids that had problems and they'd be struggling in life. I would stop. But yeah, I thought, wow, this is kind of messed up. He's that. Okay, I just have to say it. He's that bitter, that evil-hearted, and that vindictive, that he thinks that that's a good thing. The kid is suffering and so is the mama. But here he is, just because she broke his heart, he got to hold on to that kind of anger like a little bitch, and and be happy that some misfortune like that fell on her and her child. Yeah, that's a sociopath. That's like, man, you just, ooh, he's really I cut his name off because it was just too bizarre. I don't know if he created the meme, you know what I mean? I'd probably not, because it has some tag over there. But he sure was co-signing by reposting it. So to me, that means he agreed with it, or he thought it was funny. Either way, that's some sick shit. All right, here we go on the next one. This one, um, he says, well, only low tier women, i.e., hood rats, and flaming homosexuals feel they have to always have the last word in disagreements. So I was like, that's kind of interesting, because when you see how many men who claim that they're heterosexual, regular dudes are on social media arguing with women, it even happens here on this channel, right? They have an opinion, right? And they say some crazy stuff, and I roast them a little bit. Not completely, just a little. Just singe the edges, let's put it that way. And then they want to keep going back and forth, back and forth. And the worst ones are the ones who, us as women, we're talking about something, right? And then here they come and trying to, well, my question to you ladies is, and they want to ask you a question don't have nothing to do with what we was talking about, some off the wall tangent shit. They do that in the chat, and I just warned you guys to not respond to them, to ignore them, because that is a tactic for them to derail the conversation that women are having and take the attention off yourselves and to put it onto them. It's a narc move. Okay, Nady Boss is good because she be like choom choo choo choom, and she just shuts them down. But a lot of you would respond before she's got to it or saw it yet, and you already responded to the nonsense. When you see them trying to do something, you stay on your target. You stay with your program. Okay, you don't let some man talk you into responding to him, and it's some shit that you're not talking about. It's like, well, yeah, that's real interesting, but that's not what we're talking about right now. And you go right back to what you're doing. Just ignore him. Shut him down. Let him know he's shut down and ignored. But you don't respond to his question. Trying to explain shit to him and all the stuff that you all be doing. That is a move that you should take with you wherever you go on the internet, because this is a very common thing that they love to do. They love to do that and derail women's conversations and start asking some inane, jackass questions that don't have nothing to do with nothing. And y'all fall for it. So, so when you have all these men that want to argue back and forth with women, that's like a little bitch. And that's basically what he's saying. So, if you're a dude and you feel the need to argue back and forth with women on social media, that means he's, in his mind, you are what is called a flaming homosexual. Either that or you're a low tier woman in disguise. One of those. You one of them. Okay, so let's move on. So, she went in. So they hurt baby daddies be like, ask your new nigga to do it. Nigga, it's your kid, she said. But yeah, they get in their feelings and stuff. It's like, I'm not doing it now because you don't want to be with me. You ask him to do it. But you forget that's your kid. That's your baby. It's not his job to take care of your baby. Come on now. What you doing? What you doing? Yes, Leandra, yeah, that's it. You just don't respond. That's how they get their narc food because now instead of these 30 women talking about what they were talking about, they're now talking about what he wanted them to talk about. So these guys feel absolutely powerful and defined, and you guys don't understand what is going on. That is a straight narc move. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Hey, sweet tea. Yes, stay with your program. That includes any man that you meet, you might be dating too. Because, they be wanting to try to change what you're trying to do or put what you're trying to do down. I'll be talking about all that over the next couple of weeks as I move through this series on narcissistic manipulation. But that is one of the things that they do, and that is a narc manipulation move. It just doesn't apply to you in a relationship. It's just something that you will run into on social media. But it is a narc manipulation tactic. Okay, so let's move on to the next. Now, I was just so through with this. It was a very long thing because, the text is normally at the top, but I cropped it and put it to the side so I can make the picture larger. This motherfucker right here, this girl, I don't know, is this supposed to be a trash truck? I don't know what I'm looking at here, what they're doing, but she kissing all over dude, and it's like, when a woman loves you, she doesn't look at your financial situation. Well, where they do that at? If a woman wants a man who, if they don't have children together and stuff, I mean, why should you bring a child into a struggle situation where the kid gonna be like missing meals and shit, be homeless, living in a hotel and everything on your love? That's not gonna work. That doesn't work. I mean, I know people do that, but I just wish they wouldn't. If you get with a man and the man can't afford to have, you know, to take care of his children, his family, then that's not a man who's ready for prime time. You don't have kids with a man like that. And in order to not do that, you really don't have to be in love with him. Go find somebody else to love. I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out. It kind of looks like he's on the ramp of a garbage truck, but I'm not really sure what kind of truck that is. Whatever it is, it must smell to high heaven. And she all up there kissing on dude. I'm like, whatever. See, I can't. My nose is sensitive. I just smell, certain smells will make me start gagging. I can't do that. I admit I'm just slightly bougie. I just, oh, I find such things to be very distasteful, and I don't eat chitlins either. Yeah, so I was looking at that. I was like, "Oh, I need a magnifying glass so I can get a real good look on what in the world I'm looking at here." But whatever it is, it looks unsavory and unsanitary, and it looks like it smells. And so I was done, and that was that. Moving on. Look at this mess here. Now they talk about how women have, changed the standards and changed the game. That how they don't have to wait no more. Average wait time for the kitty cat in 1995 it was 30 days. Was it? Hmm. I think it was a little longer than that. In 2005 it was 3 days. Now I don't know about that. And in 2015 it was 3 hours. In 2019 it was $40. So what are they saying about you guys? Roy Chest, you shut up. Nobody asked you nothing. This is a group of women talking. So, you be quiet here. Be quiet. Don't say nothing. You said enough yesterday. I'm kind of sick of you, but you haven't done nothing too scandalous, so you get to stay. But I'm warning you now. Don't get started, because we will boot your ass right up out of here. Yeah, now here we go. Just trying to like say that women are, just trifling and stuff. But my thing is this. Now, you tracking this wait time. Well, and nigga, if it costs $40, how would you know that? Unless you is one of the participants in the nonsense. So, I mean, see, I wouldn't know that because I don't be chasing, nothing that's I'm going to get it in 3 days or 3 hours or nothing like. I don't do that. So this is not anything that I would have any facts about. But so if you have facts about it enough to make a meme, then that means you trifling and nasty yourself. That means you participating in all of these dates, short time frames, in which case you need to shut up and stop trying to make memes about it and laugh about it when you the one right there with your dick all up in her. So shut up. Please shut up. Don't even. Do not say nothing. So that I thought that was kind of interesting, but let's move on. Here we go with another one where they begging for a sister to help them come up. Look at this again now. Helping a man build his future. His. When he's down means give more to him than just giving him some kitty cat. Men go through shit too. Well, that might be true. That might be true. I'm not saying that you don't. But what I'm saying is, what benefit is it to a woman that you just kicking it with, that y'all don't really want to be with anyway, helping you build your future? Why do you think that she should do that? What's in it for her? And this is a question you guys need to ask yourself. If you ever get in this position, because this is a narcissistic manipulation tactic right here. So you with a dude and he's whining and crying like this. Well, I'm going through stuff too, and I need this is the number one tactic. I'll be talking about this in the video I'm gonna make over the weekend, and that they need you to help them do something. Really, when the most respect that you give a man is when he does everything himself. Oh, hey, Trinity. Now we all your dates. This is a group date, what they used to call a group date when I was a teenager. 'Cause my parents didn't let me go out one on one with nobody until I was 17. Can you believe it? 17 years old. And all these other times I had to go on a group date, and one of my brothers was in the group too. I didn't get to go nowhere by myself. They was just like on me. It was terrible. I couldn't wait till I went to college to get away from them. So, yeah, building his future. And I just look at that. It's like, God, how selfish can you believe? Can you be? Who is it that you think is gonna sign up for some shit like that? And y'all need to really be aware of this when these dudes are hitting you up with this kind of stuff. Don't just listen to them smiling and thinking about how much you like him and you want him to be successful. Of course, you want somebody that you love, brother, sister, aunt, cousin. I mean, you want people that you care about to be successful. That's a given. But in a situation where you're not married to this man, you all just barely dating and whatever, and he's looking at you for all of this help, what is it that you are supposed to be getting out of that? I mean, you're giving to him, but what benefit is it bringing to your life? How is it helping you build your future? So you're supposed to build your future and help him build his too, then what? Is he helping you build yours in return? No, because he's looking for you to help him build his. He's focusing on his stuff. He's not focusing on you. So you would be the attention and time that you should be devoting to yourself to build yourself up. You're giving half of it to him, which means you putting your shit on the slow mode to help him. And like I said, this ain't your husband because niggas don't want to get married. So let's just, let's be realistic here, ladies. This ain't your husband. And they want to play, hit you with that wifey shit. That don't mean nothing. Try taking wifey to a court of law when he dies and see what you get. Yeah, how about laughed at? That's what you're going to get. So, just be careful with this kind of stuff. But like I said, I'll be going into a lot more detail in this series that I got coming up. Now, this guy says, this is his observation, that women in America, particularly black women, seem to have an aversion to complimenting men, especially the men in their lives. God forbid that it might actually make him feel good about himself. Apparently, ego boosts are only reserved for women. Now, what does this mean? If you, as a man, have a woman and she does not compliment you, what could that possibly mean? It means you a ain't shit nigga. That's what it means. It ain't shit about you to compliment because you get on her fucking nerves. That's what that means. So you sitting there looking for compliments just because you breathing and walking, and not dropping to the ground in confusion. You don't get a round of applause for that. You don't get a round of applause for going to work like a normal adults do, like normal adults do around the world. Okay, that's what people do when they grow up. They have jobs, or they have a business, or they have a family farm, or something. I mean, they doing something where they're contributing. Okay, they're working. You have a car and apartment. Well, that's kind of like the basics of adulthood. That's adulting. You don't get compliments and rounds of applause for that. And you can't expect her to give you that because you would be doing that whether you were with her or not. Because you're an adult male. You're going to have some place to live. You're going to have your car. You're going to have a job, whether you're with a woman or not. So for her, expect her to compliment you like, ooh, Hercules, Hercules, because you're doing the basics of adulting. Motherfucker, no. You don't get no rounds of applause for that. Get out of here. This dude is just like, oh, these dudes, they so needy. It's just such a fucking turnoff. Always wanting something from a woman. I need you to compliment me. For what? What have you done that you should get a compliment on? Okay, what? I mean, are you dressing sharp? I mean, you lose some weight at the gym? Well, baby, you looking good now. I mean, but did you do that? Did you go and get a new outfit and get your hair cut and stuff? And now we went on a date. And so I come down the stairs and I see you looking all sharp and clean, and we looking clean, and we compliment each other, and we go out the door. I mean, did you take some initiative and do something spectacular and stellar and out of the norm? What do you deserve a compliment for? What? So, they just want to get an ego boost for just doing nothing, just being just basic. And it don't work like that. You got to have something going on and do something that's going to be, impressive to her, or at least make her smile and do something that's going to make her go, well, damn, look at him. You go, boy, something like that. And then you'll get a compliment. But you just doing just the basic everyday bullshit. You want somebody, oh, honey, you went to work today and you made it home and you drove home all by yourself. Good job. Oh, honey, you took your clothes off and you put them in the dirty clothes. And you brushed your teeth and you combed your hair. Good job. That's what you want? Ain't nobody here your mama. You need to go find her for all of that. I'm just saying, when I see stuff like this, it gets on my nerves because it makes black men seem so childish, so immature and just babyish. And I just don't like that. I don't like it. And, they want all this respect and stuff. It's like, dudes, and you constantly showing women how unworthy of that you are by these childish, immature, needy ass attitudes that y'all project. It's such a fucking turnoff. Oh my God. Oh, let me move us on. I can feel my body temperature rising. It's already hot enough in here. All right, now here, this I thought this was real interesting. This dude is like, his comment is, can a broke person teach a millionaire to be a millionaire? Well, why? I mean, that person could have been a millionaire before they got broke. Look at Donald Trump. He was a millionaire, 7 or 8 different times and filed bankruptcy after fucking over them people's money. So then he says, well, stop letting chicks with no dad tell you what a real man is. Okay, let's talk about that. Stop letting chicks with no dad tell you what a real man is. How many of you have a daddy telling you anything? Real man, fake man, how to spell man? Where your daddy at? Because let me put it this way. If you had a dad that was, a man in your real man in your life, you wouldn't, no woman would feel the need to tell you anything because you would be demonstrating manhood for her right out there, front and center. She would be seeing it with her own eyes. Okay? But the fact that she feels like she needs to tell you something about it, that means you ain't hitting the mark. That's what that means in her eyes. Now, no matter what a man, because, some of these dudes, their idea of manhood is very negative. They want to like beat on people and, use people and all this stuff, and they get with their friends and they, throw their chest out and they feel like they're a man because they did these vile things to a woman and dominated over her. Okay, but on their own as a man, they don't stand. They just don't meet the mark at all. They're nothing. The only way they feel like something is when they're intimidating, bullying, and hurting someone that they feel is beneath them. So they're like standing on your head to raise themselves up. They're not raising themselves up under any of their own merit. They're not out there, trying to buy property. They're not out there trying to, really spend a whole bunch of time with their kids. They're not really doing anything positive, not working in the community. They're not taking care of the seniors in the community, mowing some lawns or something, helping repair the seniors' homes and take care, get them some groceries. I mean, what are you contributing to the betterment of people around you? They're not doing anything. They're just trying to intimidate and control women. That's what they focus on. So if you have a dude like that and you feel like that's not manhood to you and you express that to him, you have every right to tell him that. I don't see what you're doing as manhood at all. Okay, now he can disagree, you know what I mean? But then that's when y'all need to part ways because he's not going to change and your expectation, you're going to be constantly disappointed in him and he's not going to meet your standards for manhood. Okay, so be aware of that and, understand what time it is. So if you have a situation like this, you're not feeling your dude is not really feeling like a man to you, and you tell him this, and he feels like, well, he don't have to listen because you don't have a dad. Well, motherfucker, you don't have one neither. So we even. And I'm the one that you want to be with. So you supposed to be the man, my man, right? So that means you need to meet my standards of manhood and not worry about whatever else you thinking about. If you don't meet my standards of manhood, then we don't have no reason to be together. See, that's the part that he's not making. It doesn't. It's not connect. He's not connecting the dots here. So your woman has every right to tell you what her standards of manhood are. You have the option though to meet them or not, but don't feel like she's going to respect you and look up to you and admire you and want to brag about you being her man if you don't meet her standards. So this right here is some dumb, dusty logic, and he just don't fucking get it. Don't get it. Let's move on. This dude says that he has a married black female coworker that said white women are taught how to keep a man, black women are taught how to survive without one. And he asked, was there any truth to that? And I'm going to say now, sir, do you not have access to Google University? Google University will teach you everything that you need to know because all you have to do is input divorce statistics by race. And you will come up with some numbers kept by the United States government because every divorce is a legal action and they can easily track them, from state to state, county to county. Those numbers are pointed from by the county to the state and then by the state to the feds, okay? So there's some pretty accurate statistics on divorce by race, by age, by length. They can break it down by the number of years the couple was married. All kind of statistics are kept on this. And guess what? The number one group getting divorced are white people. How shocking is that? Now, a white woman might have they have a different focus about it in that they think, about getting married. I mean, it's an expectation amongst that culture that you would get married. But what it is not is an expectation that you're going to continue to be married. Because some white girls have been married 2 or 3 times. But the thing about it is, all the white dudes want to get married. Now, that doesn't mean they're going to act right once they're married, but they do want to get married, which is different from black men who don't want to get married, period. So, and I know this for a fact, having lived in suburbs with some very wealthy white people for many, many, many years, more than a decade. And that's what I saw. That's what I heard. They get married. They do believe in marriage. But, shit falls apart. That's why all these little MGTOW dudes are so mad because they got married, but it didn't work out. And now they're all bitter and evil about that, too. And posting all these crazy things online and stuff. But you notice they got married. And that's something that black men just don't want to do. So there's a very different dynamic in the culture. And that is why black women know how to survive without a husband, they've had to. And white women are learning how to. To them, it's a new thing. They're experiencing this kind of new freedom that we've always had. And, a lot of black women want to get married, though. That's because of their religious upbringing. They want to be married. But, once they get into it, you notice how few black women want to go get married the second, third time. They be like, oh, fuck this shit. I'm out. And I'm not going back because they see that it's really not all that they thought it was going to be. And that's what women around the world are starting to figure out, too. This is a bunch of bullshit. Why do we think that this is a state of something that we wanted and going after it and dreaming about it and all this stuff? Once you get in it, you say, wait a minute. If he's not the right kind of man, the marriage is torture. It's not joyful, it's torturous. And you just are depressed and just like wondering what in the world you got yourself into. So I think that's why a whole bunch of women are on Prozac personally, all these antidepressants, because of their relationships. It's not because of, some chemical imbalance. It's because men drive them fucking crazy. So that's my answer to this question. And since he asked, was it true? The answer is absolutely not. And what is true, though, is that white men are taught to get married and black men are taught not to, which forces black women to survive without a man. And so that's your fault, sirs. It's all on you. If you want black women to not have to survive without a husband and a father or just mighty, to take care of them emotionally and to be there, their partner and stuff, then y'all need to start changing your attitude about getting over on women and using women, and then start thinking about how you could partner with women and build with your wife. That's what you need to think about. Now, this was hilarious. Look at dude. He done set like they do the little traps with where they catch rabbits and stuff, the little box trap. He done set a trap where he gonna be trying to catch him a girlfriend. He got some bundles there. Yeah, I know. I was kind of trying to figure out how to blow the picture up, but I didn't have time. He got some bundles and some lashes and jewelry and shit, cash, and he got the little trap box trap there, and he back there ready to pull the string soon as somebody reached for it. I was rolling. This is so cute. It was creative and different. I liked it. But it just shows he's like, I refuse to be single any longer. Today is the day. I thought that was cute. Yeah, adult children do drive you crazy. Ugh, gosh, that just, they sure do. No lies told. No lies. Okay, let's move on. Brian is warning you. If he or she is moving too fast with you, they homeless. And I think that's true. They be trying to like move in real quick. They want to move in, my my place, I stay with so and such and such. They get ready to kick me out while me and live together. And then the next thing you know, because you all in love, because the relationship is new, right? And you want to see, you want to see dude more, because you in that romantic high of a new relationship. That's what they count on. And trust me, this is also covered in the manipulative narc video series. This kind of manipulation here, y'all don't even know what's going on. Y'all just get just so wrapped up with these clowns. You need to slow down and start thinking. Look at what's happening here. This dude is yes, these homosexuals, I'm telling you, they just like hobo around from one woman's house to another. And they in love with each one. It's- who knows? Oh, when I said who knows, I'm looking at Kwame's popcorn's comment. Who knows, girl, what they looking for? But whatever they look for, they gonna keep on looking, cause that's not appropriate. As my mother used to say, that was her favorite word. Deborah, I don't think that's appropriate response. I don't think that's an appropriate outfit. I don't think that's an appropriate thing to say. I don't think that location is appropriate for you to go as such a young lady. Oh, everything was appropriate. So you see me use that word a lot. That's where I got it from. I'm copping the plea now. My mother wore me out with that. So now, guess what? I'm gonna wear you out with it. It's my turn. So yeah, these dudes, just watch that. They be coming on so strong. They just so madly in love. They can't get enough of you. Next thing you know, he done moved some shit into your closet and he staying 3 or 4 days. And then the next thing you know, he never leaves and you trying to figure out what the hell happened. All right. Um, this one is talking about how men choose a woman. Now this was I don't know if this is really dusty or not, but I think it contradicts a lot of the dustiness that we see every week. And it's kind of a warning and advisement. And when they say advisory warning to men about how to choose with the women that they choose. Now, do you see these dudes, they fighting about, you only like thugs and you like this and that. And they're lamenting the fact that they can't get Big Booty Bertha to date them. And she only want to date, the fine, muscled, tall, cut rapper dude or something. She's not checking for them with their little geeky, you know, programmer bodies and attitudes and, their glasses and their like awkwardness. She's not looking for that. So this one is advising men that the man chooses a great woman as part of his spiritual journey to jump up to a higher level. A great woman is that inspiration. If a man chooses a lesser woman, it's because he does not want to do the work required to shift his consciousness into being a great man. You can always see the character of the man by the woman he chooses. So when you hear guys, talking about their baby mama and how she want to fight him, and she got all this drama going on, and she be bringing drama into his next relationship and all this little stuff. Sometimes the guys realize this does happen, and they realize that they do choose a better woman for their next woman. Unfortunately, the woman that they chose first, the woman that they had the child by, is the lesser woman, and she wants to do everything she can to fuck him up, to keep him from going to that higher level. So that's something to think about. The guys in reverse is the same thing. They don't want, they'll threaten you, they'll stalk you, they, just won't go away. They cause you all kinds of drama, breaking out windows and car windows and threaten you with taking your kids, all kind of stuff because they want to keep you at the level where they are. They don't want to see you progress spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. So that is what Dusties do. This is just kind of like I said. This is a more of a dusty advisory than it is anything else. But it's just something for you ladies to keep in mind. When you get with a dude, which one of you do you think that you are with him? I know any man I'm with is I'm on that higher level. I'm gonna raise his consciousness probably more than he wants it to be raised. But that's what I do. I mean, I raise yours, and I would do the same for him. But there should be to me. I mean, you can't have, you got to have some people at the bottom. I mean, you can't everybody can't be great, but every man should be striving to be better than what he is today. I can tell you that he may not reach great status, but he gonna be a better. He could be really good. He could go from just bum ass fool to somebody impressive. He might not, like I said, reach great status, but the journey that he's taken is just as hard for him starting at the bottom as for somebody who rose to greatness, who started maybe near the bottom but not quite at the bottom. So there's struggles there. It's going to be hard, and that's what we're looking for men. We're not looking for you to be dust mites, posting crazy stuff on the internet, dogging out women. What are you doing? That shows that your consciousness is at the bottom. You're at the bottom, and the kind of woman that you would be able to get would be a woman at the bottom. That's why you upset because the women that's at the top don't want nothing to do with you. It's because your consciousness is all fucked up. You're fucked up, and you got such a um, negative persona that a woman who's healthy and sane doesn't want anything to do with you. So these guys are very upset about that. They don't see the connection, but that's why I'm connecting the dots for them. You need to work on yourself, dude. Raise your level, and then you can get get great women. Now this young lad here. Why does everyone tell black men how to treat a black woman, but don't tell black women how to treat a black man? Let's talk. Okay, where is he? What rock has he been living under? Someone please explain that to me. Because everywhere you go, that's all they do is tell black women what we need to do. Thanks, Felicia. That's all they do is tell us that. You even in these memes, you need to fix us. You need to help us. You need to, be there for us and lead us and let cook for us and flatter us and not have a high body count and I mean not have a bunch of babies. I mean everywhere we go, we're getting instructions and rules and guidance and mandates put on us about what we need to do for men. We're something. The only one who I've seen who tells men that they need to do something is me. Okay, but I'm like one little voice in the millions of people out here on the internet. I don't have no problem telling them about themselves. No problem at all, as you have probably witnessed if you've been around this channel for a while. I have no problem. But books, magazines, websites, even when you go to these like supposed to be female empowerment, talks and stuff. What do they talk about? How you can be the best person, and they always related to something about a relationship. It's not about your relationship to yourself for most of those kind of talks. They talk about what kind of woman you can change yourself in to be more attractive to attract a man. There's always that spin put on it. I've been to a bunch of them, and that's why I know. Like, wow, this is kind of amazing. That would be the way the talk I would deliver. I mean, that's like, like a non, or you say a non motherfucking factor when you talking about a woman achieving her greatness. She needs to do that. That's gonna be her. And then when she gets to that point, the men that are in her circle then will be at her level, and she will have forgot all about Dustmiteville because she won't be there anymore. Okay, that would be, and to associate with someone like that would be, as my mama say, inappropriate. So you wouldn't be doing that. It's gonna be really interesting. So women, we can't escape it. Everything we do, everything we say. Well, men don't like it when women do that, and men look for this and that in a woman, and men don't like wild makeup and this. I mean, it's all everything we do is getting instructions and guidance and getting a smackdown about what a man likes and why we need to change ourselves because that's what men like. So I don't know what this dude is talking about. I'll put it back on the screen so you can see it again. I don't understand what he's talking about. What rock or what planet has he been living on that he has not seen all this stuff about what women need to do? Yes, Karen is right. Please do that. Please follow through on that. It's just horrible. And so, even this meme is designed to make women shy away from talking about and doing for self and to refocus on men again. You guys have got to stop doing that. If a dude is the right dude, he's gonna come in and he's gonna get your attention because his shit is so together. He's such a stellar man. He will get your attention. To believe you won't have to change nothing. He will come in the gate, loving you just the way that you are. If he doesn't, then you move on to the next one. You should never have to dull your shine and lessen yourself. That means he doesn't have much confidence in himself if he feels like he needs to beat you down and make you lessen yourself, reduce yourself so that he feels better about being with you. That's not a man. What is that? That's abuse to me. You just so threatened about my wonderfulness. Why can't you be wonderful with me? That we could be wonderful together. Two flashlights shine brighter than one. You know what I mean? Why can't you be the second flashlight and we shine down the road and see further and go faster? Why can't you do that? Why is it always this thing where they're always threatened by what we do and what we know and where we've been and what degrees we have and what talents and skills we have? What is that? I just don't understand it. So let's move on. That shit is depressing. This was funny. This was funny. And this lady here, I forgot to put it on there because I was rushing. I'm giving her the Savage Award of the Week. Because dude says black women only go natural when they are broke. And she came back with, is this why black men natural their whole life? Makes sense. I was like, oh, savage, savage. I didn't know what else to say. I said, well, there's nothing more to say. And look at her screen name. Your hating didn't work, bitch. savage. The savagery was just so smooth, and she didn't miss a beat. She did not miss a beat. This is why black men natural their whole life makes sense. Uh, I didn't. You know what you say to that? What else you gonna say? I have one more. We got one more savage of the week, and this is the dude was the savage, and they was both good. Boy, why is the food so cold and bland? I like that they did not show black family on this meme. And the dad says, because your mom put her heart and soul into it. And I was like, savage. Oh, dude, usually I don't like memes where they talk about women, but this shit was funny. Ah, this shit here was hilarious. Your mom put her cold and bland heart and soul into it. I was like, damn. Well, that's no dad to mess with because he be putting them zingers out there, and I see that's the stuff to be hurt my feelings. I don't like my feelings hurt. That was funny. Oh, and then we're back to the first slide. So that's it for the Dusty News Network show of this week. Um, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Like I said, it's just really shocking that there's just seems to be an endless supply of this kind of nonsense just floating around the internet for anybody to read and touch and for us to use on this show. When I started this show in the summer, I thought it was just gonna be, maybe I don't know, 6 weeks and 6 to 8 weeks of it, and then we would probably run out of material and then I would stop and go back to my regular programming. However, that was a mistake on my part. Like I said, I didn't notice these things, and they've probably been around for years. But now that I've seen them, and you guys are on the prowl for them, they're coming in by the dozens every week. And like I said, the majority of them, like 98% of them, are different. Each one is different. There's some, that are the similar, coming the same from every, a couple of different people. But that's rare. That's not the usual. Most of them are different. And so and I don't even use all of them every week. So, I'm gonna try to. We got some really good ones in this week and last week, though. So I'm gonna try to, pull some of those in with the new material that comes in this week for the next show next week, next Friday. But if you do, come across something now that you've seen the show and you get an idea of what we do, this is where you send your contribution to the show. You just screenshot it and download it to your computer, whatever you need to do, attach it to an email, and send it to survivingdating@gmail.com. Survivingdating@gmail.com. Make the subject line Dusty News. Also on Tuesday, we got coming up. I do look at me. I'm all shiny. This is not glowing, you guys. This is fucking sweat. It's hot as hell in here. Um, on Tuesday, I do the advice show, the live advice show. I read the questions on the air and respond to them in real time. If you have an advice issue, look in the show description below and click the link, and it'll take you right to the advice submission form. That's the easiest thing for you to do. Scroll down, look at the show description, and then click it where it says, send your submission in for advice. Just click that link, and it will take you right to the form. If you get it in time, it might even be on Tuesday's show. So don't dilly-dally, chop, chop. All right? Um, is there anything else I need to say? Well, I guess I want to thank everybody for coming. I definitely want to do that. Thank you for showing up, everybody, as usual. Got a strong team. Everybody's contributing and being here and supporting the channel. Thanks you for your donations of super chats. And my Patreon subscribers, you guys are great as well. Lady Boss Bay holding it down. That's my girl right there. That's my girl. So you guys take care until I see you again on Tuesday. I'll probably put something up this weekend, though, so watch for that. If you're not a subscriber, hit that subscription button. I'll see y'all on Tuesday. Bye-bye.